What's up, everybody? Thanks for stopping by the Broskiedoodles podcast. Today we have a fun-filled, packed episode for you, so stay tuned. Check it out. Let me know what you think in the comments below. We're going to spark up some conversations along with other things.
That's right. We're going to talk about a few important topics that I think have been forgotten in history. And, well, hopefully you have some discussion that rises from this and you'll want to comment as well. So, one topic that, Steve, I wanted to talk to you about was the start of World War I. You know, a lot of people nowadays talk about World War II because it's what we have closer to us, is what has happened more recently. And we actually have footage of it because we don't have much footage of World War I, more than a few, black and white pictures. So, but actually World War I is a lot more important in the sense that it started it all. It's what led to World War II. So, and that's like a crazy event that happened, right?
Yeah.
That sort of...
I mean, there wouldn't be a World War II without the World War I. And it was pretty close to home from what I've seen online and heard is, we're talking about, what, a 30-year gap between them? It's...
between the wars?
The wars, yeah. 1914.
Yeah, that's true.
So and World War II was the 40s.
30 years after.
30s, yeah.
Yeah, 44. That's true. 30 years.
So I mean, somebody was on a hype. Like, yo, we got to do this again. We made a lot of money, I guess.
Yeah, but well, the crazy part, right, that really got us interested in this whole topic, is this my boy Gavrilo Princip, right? This guy, man, just. He started it all, right? So for people that don't know, and we're gonna briefly tell the story and our thoughts about it, about how World War I started really, and what lit up the fuse for that whole shit to go down. And it was because Gavrilo Princip, a Serbian, a Bosnian Serb, he killed the Austro-Hungarian upcoming ruler and his wife, and shit just went crazy. There's a great podcast on this that's very lengthy and has a lot of information by Dan Carlin. It's called Blueprint to Armageddon. If you want to listen to like the real stuff, we're gonna give you more like the average Joe's opinion on it.
Oh. Definitely, and one thing I want to be clear on, or I would like to be more. He lived, our boy Gavrilo, R.I.P. Is in Bosnia at the time, and he's a Serb. And he's a Serbian. So you're telling me that Archduke Franz Ferdinand, he was in Bosnia, I guess, checking out the land. We're gonna say hi to the people. We're gonna have a little parade, which we'll talk about shortly. And then he is not the king at the time, though, right? He is not.
He isn't. So it's strange. When I was reading up on this times, it's still like Game of Thrones shit. Like there's no presidents or prime minister. It's like the fucking ruler of the kingdom type shit.
Right.
So
right.
it's still working like that at that time, right? So you had the Austro-Hungarian kingdom, right? Mm-hmm. And these motherfuckers ruled a lot of the land. And then towards the right, you had the Russians, right? They sort of ruled part of the land. And then on the west, you had like France and Great Britain, where like they had their own thing going, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the Austro-Hungarian regime, or not a regime, the kingdom, mm-hmm. had been taking over Bosnia, Serbia, Montenegro, I think is part, like those countries in the Eastern Europe, right? But it was Bosnia, Serbia, Herzegovina is one of them. Mm-hmm. And they've been fighting for a long time. So the Austro-Hungarian people want to take them, right? So they're sort of controlling their lands, controlling their ruling. And then there's this rebel group that grows in this Bosnian Serbian group, and this is where Gavrilo comes from, right? They're called the Young Bosnia, and they're pretty much like they want to go in and do some damage to let the Austro-Hungarian people know, like, hey, don't fuck with us. We want to rule ourselves, right?
Right.
They've actually been fighting for many years to be independent, and they haven't been able to do so. And so what you were talking about, the parade where all this whole happened, and I want you to explain it a bit more, but I'm just going to give context on why this was happening. The Bosnians were celebrating, or not celebrating, but they had a parade where they were giving respect to a war that happened many
Like
hundred years ago.
Yeah.
Hundreds of years ago, where like they lost many people and lost their lands and their authority over their people and shit, right? So it's a sad situation, but they're sort of honoring a parade on that day. And on that same day, the Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria and his wife, who is the son of the king of the Austro-Hungarian
His name was
kingdom.
Franz Joseph, which died.
Franz Joseph, okay,
Yeah.
is the leader, right? He's the leader at the time, but he's very old.
Yeah.
And his son, Archduke Franz Ferdinand, everybody knows he's gonna be the next in power.
Right.
So he goes to where's the place
Bosnia.
that they?
Oh,
Sarajevo. Sarajevo. They go to Sarajevo, which is the capital, where this parade is going to go to see some military displays. And it's kind of like an insult to the Bosnian Serbs, because it's like, you come on our day of our parade where we're like giving respect to all the losses we've had, and then you come in a way to like show us put it in our face that you own us and shit.
Yeah, on our special day. Like, what a dick, bro.
Yeah.
Because I mean, he's and up until this time, we had these Bosnians just, working the lands and paying respect to the higher kingdom of Hungary or whatever. And if I butcher something,
Austro-Hungary.
Austro-Hungary, which doesn't even exist anymore. CPW. But it was a crazy time. It was a crazy time. And before I get started on what happened, is there any other blueprint you want to lay out for all of our listeners at this point?
No. So pretty much there's tension between the Austro-Hungarian kingdom and the Bosnian Serbs, because they don't want to be ruled by the Austro-Hungarian, and there's some rebel groups that are sort of growing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll get into this later, but apparently there had been some rumors of the Serbian government having told the Archduke, like, hey, there's people here talking about some assassination, because supposedly the government of Serbia, right, in Bosnia, they're with the Austro-Hungarian kingdom. They're supposed to be buddies, but the people of the Bosnian Serbs, they're not cool with that.
Right.
So
back in those Renaissance days, though, like, and they've been throwing like their trusted confidants into the government. I guess that's kind of what happens nowadays on a different scale. But this Austro-Hungarian regime has their tentacles or their people inside of this Bosnian government rule, and therefore creating these militias and inside of what is the community there, right? And I would imagine that just like Dan Carey said. Dan Carlin. Respect to Mr. Carlin. No, but he had a point when it's crazy when what is going through your mind, right? Like, and by the way, back then people didn't last very long, so things were happening much younger. These are 19 and 20-year-old kids who are planning to essentially kill the Archduke Franz Ferdinand.
Mm-hmm.
Unbeknownst to them, they don't even realize what kind of domino effect would happen should they kill the king. World War One, which for me, just a little input, I believe changed the Renaissance era forever. If you think about it, we're talking about kingdoms and kings and Game of Thrones. This World War kind of just, gives a
Yeah.
little bit more power to the monopolies of the bigger countries, and kind of ending all of that little like area code type stuff. You know
Well,
what I'm saying?
it definitely ended Game of Thrones days, because then
Yeah,
shit went crazy after that. But before we get into all the little tangents that we can go into,
yeah.
tell our homeboys what the story is and what happened on
Right.
that day, and then we can talk a little more in depth about it.
So, from what I understand, it basically began amongst meetings. For some reason, even up to the JFK era, they were publishing the route in which these motorcades would go through. Like they have these kings. I'm gonna go from here to here. And obviously giving way to the assassination attempts. And again, he comes rolling down this street, which is the celebration of this battle. And
Well, it's more like respect because of the battle they lost.
correct, yeah,
For
respect.
people to have a bit of context, it's kind of like when JF Kennedy was going down that road, and a lot of people, he was like very vulnerable. This
Yeah,
is sort of like that.
yeah, it's almost to the T. And so there's a militia who had multiple assassins along this route, you know, and the first few didn't were not successful. Not that they attempted, but they didn't see the opportunity. I guess they all had some kind of a code. It's like make it count.
And is this all to kill? They're
Archduke,
attempting to kill the Archduke,
the
right?
Archduke, yeah,
Okay.
for disrespecting the homies on the day of.
Okay.
And
So trying us in our own area code, dog.
dude, for real. Yeah, man, come on, bro. 954.
All right.
So the Archduke is coming down the road, and there's this one, badass guy. I thought he was just trying to, in my opinion, the way they painted it, he was like the guy who wanted to like go down as the guy.
Okay.
And Buddy had what is now probably considered more to be like a hand grenade or like some kind of a small, pipe bomb.
Okay.
And he comes around wherever he comes around. I'm not familiar with the map, but he comes around and he and he this assassin comes out and lobs this bomb at the car. Okay, and whatever, of course he misses. He hits the door of the car. It rolls off. Doesn't explode until maybe the other car passes, and people are got shrapnel in their ass. Everybody's kind of up in the air, and then it was a failed attempt. They all sped off. They went to the local police area, putting their hands up, and everybody's like, okay, wow, that was the biggest fail of life. And now this Archduke is pissed because this is the kind of thanks he gets or whatever for coming through. And I think he was just being a major dick because he knew. But
Yeah,
but
he's making it look like he's like, oh, what the fuck? I do all this for you guys,
yeah,
and you fuck with me.
yeah. Which, not to go off now, but he's actually, let's touch back. He was actually an advocate for them. Did you get that information?
An advocate for?
For the Serbs. So,
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he was, Franz Joseph, his father. He basically was oppressing these people. Like, I took you over, and I'm gonna piss on you, kind of thing, right? And then Ferdinand, he's like, well, he was trying to make more peace, and I guess this.
Damn. So this was the guy that was gonna change things.
Yeah, to a
It's
certain
like
degree.
everybody can use the same water fountain type shit.
Exactly.
Like he was gonna be like the Martin Luther King
Yeah, exactly.
of the Serbian region.
And
And then
they
this
fucked this shit
okay.
up.
All right, so but tell me the story, because I'm
Yeah.
here still like expecting to. Okay, what happened? So this guy misses. He throws the bomb, which I heard the Archduke actually dodged it like gangster style. Like, I literally read, like, and this shit is, they say it's for reals.
Yeah.
For reals, Keith. that this guy like literally dodged it like Matrix style. He's like, yo, what the fuck is that? What is that? And then it hit. I swear, I'm not even joking.
No, I hear you.
And it hit the car, and like you mentioned, it didn't detonate until the next car came. So I'm just thinking, dog, what a fucking shitty bomb this was.
Yeah,
you know?
like let's talk about this 20-second delay. Like he would have been able to pick this up, be like, "Yo, who's it? Oh, is this yours? Here you go."
Yeah.
Boom.
Hot potato, motherfucker.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. You know, your nerves are. I mean, you're 19, 20 years old. Your nerves are like, you know, going.
Nah, man,
you're about to kill the king.
You know, I mean, the first bombing is always, you know.
Nothing like the first bombing. There's nothing.
You know, it's always jittery. You know. You know, if anybody tells you no, my first bombing went chill.
Yeah.
They don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah, they're lying. They're through their teeth. Anyways.
All right. So you got me here on suspense. He throws a bomb. He misses.
He misses. Goes to the cops. What the fuck is everybody's problem? Why are they doing it? Oh, okay. We're gonna give you a little bit more security. All they gave this dude was one dude on the side of the car. You know, like where you step and you like, I guess, like hang on. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. A little John Dillinger on the side, just chilling.
Exactly. Just one.
Just one.
And so
when they know there's killers.
Yeah, they know there's
killers
like
out there.
Yeah, there's more than like a handful. They know this.
Yeah, like a handful of goons looking to murder this motherfucker. Mm-hmm. I can't believe this shit.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And which, by the way, they caught the first guy. The guy tried to make off, you know, and kill himself with like some cyanide. I guess that was the thing. Again, another dud. Didn't kill him. He jumped into the river, which was like 6 inches deep. Probably sprained an ankle and got caught.
And that's it. Just threw up, didn't die, nothing.
Yeah, nothing, bro. What a guy. Sorry. Anyways, so then he's rolling down the street. Now, all of this happened. I guess people really didn't have too much common sense back then, because you have his driver now following the motorcade, and this motorcade has now changed directions. But
yo, real quick, because I'm a bit confused. What is a motorcade?
Like a car, like a funeral procession would be, like, you know, when you have multiple vehicles, or what these presidents travel. You
okay,
have
like following, yeah, like a
3 or
like
4
a tailgate.
or 5, yeah, exactly. Just, you know, like a little row of cars or whatever it is.
Okay, and he's following these cars because these are like the people that are with him, right? Like,
yeah,
I guess other ministers, right? Security, shit, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine that they have some important people with
entourage,
him.
Entourage.
Entourage, that's a better word, yeah. He probably had some entourage spread out amongst the cars, which 1914 was probably a glorified wagon. But, you know, whatever.
I mean, to be honest, cars were invented like a week before that. So...
yeah. Exactly.
So like, I mean, let's just say the fact that they had a car,
yeah,
that was balling
on another level
by itself, bro. Like, regardless, you know, like they had like the second car that was ever made.
Yeah.
But,
of the four cars in the motorcade.
Yeah.
No, but no, I really couldn't tell you. Like you said, there's not too much online right now showing, you know, actual footage or pictures from back then. So I would imagine it's a group of them, and they've been attacked. They give the Archduke Ferdinand a person, and they're riding down the street. Nobody tells the driver of the Archduke, the targeted suspect, that they changed route. This dude goes down the original route that was going to happen, and everybody else took off. I mean, this is some like, you know, action movie. What did I see? I think 6 Underground. No.
So like
Jack Ryan.
The motorcade, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing this is a word that's not used in today's world, right?
I would say it is, but
oh, it is. Okay, so it's just my ignorance. I thought it was
no. I mean, in Spain, it's probably called something else, you know.
Yeah, no, of course. I'm talking about in the language. Okay, so there's 4 cars going, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm guessing because these motherfuckers were so lucky, they were the last ones on that motorcade. Mm-hmm. So everyone keeps going or actually they were probably the first ones. They turn on the wrong turn, and everybody just keeps going and leaves them.
I think what standard procedure for something like that would be the king in the middle, or the highest value target somewhere in the middle.
Right.
So
That's what I would think.
so I don't know. I mean, like I said, no common sense. It would make sense if he was the first and he took a wrong turn, and everybody's like, "Oh wow, where's the Archduke Ferdinand going?" Man, that's hey. Somebody call him, like somebody, and I'm like, okay. Or you're the middle, or you're the driver with somebody in front of you going straight, and you make a right. Like, all right, cool, man. I'll see you later. Like, which one is it? Either way,
Yeah.
no common.
Either
sense.
way, no common sense.
Somewhere. So he pulled down this road, and then, like you said, one of the first cars ever built. They realized what happened. They're like, oh snap! One of the assassins of the 20+ assassins, basically, allegedly there, was sitting in the same spot, like he hadn't even moved, like he didn't even realize the parade stopped. You know what I mean? But he's still chilling in that same spot, and here comes his very target.
I think it was a different spot, but it was nearby.
Well, the same spot that he was designated to along the route.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was sitting there on this.
No, but I don't think it was. I don't think. Oh, he was on the route. Okay.
Well, the reports say that there was the same route that the driver went down.
Right.
So I don't
Okay,
know.
so the guy took the wrong route because he was supposed to take a different route. He took the original route, and then along the way, this assassin was there, right?
Gavrilo, right? Gavrilo was sitting.
Gavrilo.
Yeah, Gavrilo, and he was sitting wherever he was designated on this route. This wagon, this car comes down, realizes they messed up, and they don't know, who's who at this point. They're like, oh snap, we just gotta back up. So as they're backing up, there's the Archduke standing feet in front of him. Apparently there were guns back then, or some kind of, because he shot both the Archduke Ferdinand at that point and his wife Sophie.
That's crazy.
And that was.
Well, the car stalled when they were backing up. I read.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You whatever it was maybe up on a hill, but they pull up, they back up, and I mean you have, more than 10 seconds to kill this guy right here.
I've read this story so many times, and I really need to see a movie about it because this is a crazy thing and sort of spooky thing about World War I, and why people don't talk about it. There's not that much data. When I say data, I mean audiovisual data, right? Like audiovisual material. You have pictures, but you don't have videos, so it's hard to see it. I think you have very shitty videos, but
yeah.
World War II, it's just so much more that you're able to see and sort of live how the war was. And when this shit happened, it's like the car is backing up, and from what I understand, and I don't remember where I read this because it's not on the Dan Carlin podcast, I believe, but I do know that Gavrilo was pretty much at this spot eating a sandwich, kind of like not even like looking for a motherfucker, like just like fuck man, we fucked up.
Really?
Like he went into like a subway of 1914 Sarajevo,
The deli.
and he was like eating a sandwich, dog. He's like, yo, let me get that double bacon,
Italian BLT.
Yeah, with the chipotle sauce, right? He's eating his thing. He got the refills. He's got his gun, which I'm guessing was like this, the second gun that was ever made. People that know about guns are gonna be like, these people are so stupid. Like,
yeah.
but I would assume it's something very basic, but I mean enough to kill, right?
Right.
And he would have it like under some newspaper. This is how I imagine it. He has it under like some newspaper, right? And he's eating his sandwich, bro. And then he sees this car, right? And he's like, that's fucking crazy. That's that car that came out last year. This is the second year that cars have come out. It's like, oh, that's the new 4T, whatever. Gavrilo was into cars.
Right.
He sees the motherfuckers just like stop and kind of, they're gonna do a new turn, right? They're gonna do a new V because they're backing up. That's what I'm thinking. and the car stalls because it's the fucking second car that has ever been made. So it hasn't really, it hasn't really been tight. The technologies. These cars don't work that well.
Right. Yeah, I feel that. I mean, they probably.
And when they're back, and the way I see it is, they're backing up, and he clearly sees them through the windows, and he's like, "Is a motherfucker gonna be rich today for reals?" He's like, "Are you serious?" I bet Gavrilo was one of the worst assassins in the group. He was
Probably.
like the dumbass. He was like the Doug. And this guy saw it. He's like, "What? Yo, when Timmy finds about this, he's gonna shut his mouth," or the equivalent name. And he just grabbed the gun, bam, killed the Archduke and his wife, which was the Duchess of
Sophie, I think.
Hohenberg.
Hohenberg, yeah.
Hohenberg.
Was,
Which I think might be Germany, because Austro-Hungarian and the Germans sort of had some sort of
relationship.
Yeah,
allied. Like you rule that land, I rule this land. We're allies, and
we're cool and shit.
Yeah.
And practically after that happened, Serbia, Austria-Hungary told Serbia, like, "Yo, look, you're gonna have to follow all this shit because I don't trust you anymore. One of you people killed our guy, so I don't trust you anymore. And because of this, you're gonna follow all these rules." And Serbia pretty much told them, like, "Yo, fuck you and your rules. I ain't following shit," because they receive a letter from Russia telling them, like, "Hey, yo,
I'm on your side.
I got your back, bro.
Yeah.
If Germany and Austria-Hungary tell you anything, dog, you tell them, what's up, dog." And what happens is, when Russia comes in, then Russia's allies at that time, which sounds very interesting, Russia's allies is France and Great Britain. And then when they come in, then there's other ties with other countries, and fucking chaos explodes. And all this chaos happened, which then led to the Second World War, to Hitler, to the Holocaust, and then to the modern world that we have today. Everything that exists after that was because some guy, our boy Gavrilo Princip, regardless if you think what he did was good or bad, I don't even know if I have an opinion for this, because it's so hard to know at that time what was really happening in the minds of these people. But after that day, the world changed forever.
Hey guys, thanks for stopping by the Broskiedoodles podcast today. We hope you had a lot of fun listening to it. We had a lot of fun recording it. If you like what you heard, go ahead and smash that like button and hit us up on all of our social handles. Leave us a comment so we can talk to you online and figure out what else to talk about online. So, yeah.